Good evening, everyone. We'll continue reading the book, The Power of Now. Let me share. Good evening, everyone. We will continue reading the book, The Power of Now. Share. I hope you all can see the presentation. So, the cognitive affliction, that is our diagnosis of what kind of a disease? That is continuous thinking, continuous, we are in a thinking loop. So, we are not able to come to our inner stillness. So let us know how this mind is continuously doing the chattering or the continuous thinking. So we all suffer from continuous thinking, right? We are not able to stop thinking. There is no switch for mind to off, right? It is a continuous thinking process, loop after loop. There is a replaying of all the events happened in the past, right? Or the worry of the future. Constantly there is a internal chatter, right? So because of this internal chat, we are not able to find the stillness. We are not able to move towards the realm of inner stillness. There is always problems and conflict, and the mental voice keeps on and on continuously. So mind is a tool actually, but we believe that we are the mind. Okay. But we have to consider mind as a tool. When we consider mind as a tool and we use it according to our will, then it is productive. But if we are the slave of the mind, then it takes us to a roller coaster ride. It is considered like a system is hijacked. So our beingness, that is, we are a divine fragment, our consciousness, our beingness, that has to be identified using the tool mind. But it is hijacked and it gives continuous thoughts because of identity, labels, judgment, conditioning. All this has made it slave. So, what is the foundational error of our Western philosophy? Says that I think, therefore I am. But it is not like that. The being, our beingness has to be there. We are not identified by our thinking. Thinking is not equal to identity. Being, that is the being, the source, the consciousness. That's the original source. We are continuously suffering from this loop of thinking and creating and thinking and creating, continuously thinking. So there is a separateness from our inner core consciousness and the identity. Okay, there is a compulsive thought, identification with the mind, and false mind made self. Mind has made a false self that I am so and so, I am holding a position, I am the CEO of the company, I earn so much, I have a family. These are all, labels, identity labels, and that is me, that is what we consider it. So that's the false identity created, and it is a continuous loop. So unless we break this loop, we cannot reach to our core being. We are human being, not human only, human being. So that inner core stillness and consciousness, when we reach, then only we'll feel, we will cut off this identity. Okay. Till then, the shadow of fear and suffering keep on happening. So even diseases are caused. How? When the mind is destructive, then diseases are caused. We all know that mind body, there is a connection. So if whatever the mind is doing, it shows the reaction in the body through emotions. So with emotions, emotion is the symptom or the manifestation of the reaction what mind is doing, right? So healthy cell will divide like this and there is a growth, but at the same time, if it is destructive, then it becomes cancerous. So purposeful thought will be rightly applied, balanced, and functional. So here, mind is a tool, like an instrument, we are using it. But in this case, where compulsive thought, we are slave of the mind. So it causes disease. Now, as I said earlier, the identification, labels, image, I am so and so, definition, it creates a opaque screen. Okay, so we identify a false self-made instead of going to the right direction. That is natural fellow humans and God. We are this being, consciousness being. But then here, image is created, concept labels, and we identify us as a you, false identity. So that's why there is a separateness. There is an opaque screen between the false I and the actual I, right? Then I will not be there, that will be dissolved, means consciousness. So the essential fact of oneness is forgotten underneath physical appearances. We want to look beautiful, we want to look handsome, we want to earn more, we want luxury, we want big house. So all these are opaque screen identity, false self. So unless we break, we cannot reach to the stillness or human beingness of us or consciousness. So why there is now a sufficient agreement, say the believing and the knowing. There is a difference between believing, that believing is a mind's domain, while knowing is the domain of the being. Knowing means it will come to your experience, okay, rather than bookish knowledge or heard knowledge, it is not that. It is in your experience. Like in meditation, you feel momentarily stillness. That time you will feel so peaceful. So that is your knowing. Okay. You have, but the mind's domain is that you have read a certain book, and there you know that when there is a gap or there is no mind or there is no thought, that's the time you feel joy and happiness. That's the mind's domain. That means believing what's written in the book, but knowing is domain of being. You experience that stillness. Okay, that's the difference. So from the mind's domain perspective, what is that? It's the conceptual, but from the domain of being, it is experiential. So from the mind's domain, comforting. So everybody is saying meditation is good for hypertension, meditation is good for memory. So you feel that yes, there is something where we can look upon solution to our problems, comforting. But the same scenario in the domain of being, you feel liberated because you have that experience. Okay. So again, from the mind's domain, second-hand knowledge. So this is not a direct experience, right? Through the book, someone has experienced, some realized, saying enlightened masters. They have realized and they are writing their experience in the book, and we are reading it. That's a second-hand knowledge. No? There is no direct experience. But from the domain of being, you will get the first-hand self-evidence of that reality. And this is rooted in through thought, that is mind's domain, while domain of being, it is rooted in inner stillness. So inner stillness will give you all the required answers for your query. So wholeness, we are not whole. We feel the vacuum or we feel the loneliness because we have to complete that wholeness. So how do we complete that wholeness? It's through enlightenment, not by acquisition of new knowledge, but being experiencing that state of being. And we are the one. There is no separation. Okay. Oneness is the end of continuous conflict within and without. Okay. With oneness, what happens? There is no conflict. So again, the state of mind matrix. Mind cannot be destroyed. Okay, only restored to its rightful hierarchy. As I explained the first, also mind is a tool. It can be constructive, it can be destructive. We have to use it. We have to be the master of our mind, not the other way around, like slave of the mind, right? So these are the two stages it's comparing. The master, the mind uses you. So when mind uses you, it is compulsive. That means thoughts keep on coming. Okay. When you use mind as a tool, then what happens? Superb tool. It is a tool. When you use the mind, or you are the master, not the mind, then it's a tool for your creative, things and all that. There is a continuous conflict, right? If there is a past incident happened, then there is a trust is broken in a past incident, then you are not able to trust anyone in the future or in the present and the future. The same scene keeps on repeating. So there is a lack of trust, for example. So there is a continuous conflict happening. But in case you are using mind as a tool, that inner stillness is there and you will get clarity. There is no mistrust, there is no victim mode, there is always in a joyful and clear clarity. When the mind is the master, there is a fragmentation. Yeah? You feel that vacuum, you feel that loneliness. When you use mind as a tool, there is a wholeness. Okay? And when mind is the master, then delusion. It creates false identity, right? You are in a Maya, illusion, delusion. But when you use the mind as a tool, it is rightly applied, whatever. So, illusion of separateness will be there when the mind is a master. But when you use mind as a tool, then you are connected to the being, the ultimate truth. So, the ultimate liberation is what? Enlightenment is the end of the dreadful enslavement to incessant thinking. It is reclaiming the mind as a superb instrument while returning to the self evident reality of being. So, this completes our description of mind with the part 2, what is mind and how we suffer with the continuous loop of thinking. We'll see next how do we come out of this.